that is on the role of higher educational institution in co-creating sustainable business executives. The speaker of the day is Dr. Arpita Chakravarti. She did her PhD from National Institute of Technology, Durgapur. She have various research paper. She presented her research in various national and international conferences, and presently she is working as a educational consultant for sustainable education, or say for the SDG4, that is for the quality education. So in today's session, our objective is to understand, because we majority of us are academicians. So she will give a light how we as an academicians can contribute to the goal of sustainable development. I would like to invite the speaker. This podium is for you. Please share your thoughts now.
Thank you, sir. Yes. Am I visible?
Yes, ma'am, you are visible.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Dr. Manvin Pratap Singh, for introducing me. Thank you, Professor Mayank Yadav, to provide me this platform where I can give where I can share my learnings and experiences. I would like to say good morning to all the learned participants here. I'm very much thankful to National Institute of Technology, Rourkela. Special thanks to Professor Manvin Pratap Singh and Professor Mayank Yadav for providing me this platform where today I will be able to share my learnings and experiences with all the learned participants here. Unfortunately, I have to add one thing. Since yesterday night, we are having a power cut, and my Wi-Fi is not working. So probably I will put off my video off because I'm working from my mobile data. Otherwise, it may happen like I get exited in the middle of the session. So pardon me for this thing. Okay. I will be sharing my screen. Is my screen shared?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Everyone see my PPT, my screen?
Not yet.
We are able to see your screen. You can open your PPT.
Yeah, sir, I have opened it. Is it visible?
No.
No, not as of now. Maybe it will take some few seconds. Yeah, it is visible now.
Yeah, it is visible now.
Okay. So today we'll be talking on the role of higher education institutions in co-creating the business executives, sustainable business executives. Till now, in this FDP, you all have came through this definition of sustainable development a lot many times, I guess. A popular definition given by Brundtland Commission report, which says that sustainable development is the development that meet the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. So we have already understood that sustainable development not only deals with environmental issues, but also economic, social, and cultural issues as well. Now, if we summarize the concept of sustainable development, we can say that sustainable development is based on two concepts. The first one is the concept of development, which means socio-economic development, taking into the environmental consideration or environmental limitations into consideration. And the next is the concept of need, which talks about the redistribution of resources to ensure the quality of life for all, that is for the present generation and the future generation. Or you can say like availability or utilization of the availability of resources to maintain a quality of life in present and future generations. Therefore, the path towards sustainable development requires a fundamental societal transformation and concerted global actions to deliver on the legitimate aspiration towards environmental protection, economic and social progress, economic and social progress. Education is characterized as one of the most powerful tools to develop the skills and competencies in future citizens. So transforming our world, which is the aim of our 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, also calls the changes in the present education system, or you can say the changes in present educational practices. So I'm very much sure that most of us have already aware of the Sustainable Development Goal 17 goals, because the workshop is carrying on for the last 5 days, or the FDP is carrying on for the last 5 days, and our earlier speakers have already introduced with this 17 goals. So in this particular session, I will be focusing on the goal 4, that is quality education. The targets of this Sustainable Development Goal 4 has been formed with an aim to achieve inclusive, equitable, quality education for all and lifelong opportunities. If you go through the net, if you surf the net, you will get a PDF where UNESCO have given a broader framework of this 17 goals, where quality of education has been highlighted. And it has been also mentioned, if we work on the quality of quality education or on the goal 4, many other goals will be automatically connected to it. So though goal 4 takes into account all the levels of education, starting right from the early education to tertiary education, that is higher education. But in this session, I'm going to highlight only on the role of higher education institutions in developing sustainable business executive, or the role of higher education in sustainable development. I guess most of my audience belong to this sector only, isn't it? Means the participants who are participating, most are either academicians, either professors, faculties, research scholars who belongs to higher education, right?
Yeah, seems so. Yeah, seems
Okay.
so.
Okay, so goal 4 not only includes early education, but it also includes pre-childhood experience also. It believes providing nutrition is a significant prerequisite to quality education. Now let us highlight the key programs and policies which have been initiated in India to achieve the target of SDG 4. See, India's commitment to 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development is already reflected in its National Development Agenda, where with the motto of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. And on this 15th August, on the day of our independence, our Honorable Prime Minister added Sabka Prayas. So what Sabka Prayas, through Sabka Prayas, he intended to address. Actually, his intention was to address a holistic approach, or you can say stakeholder engagement, engaging all the stakeholders in the sustainable development goals. Now, let us have a look on the policies on education. The very first one is right to education, and I will go with Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. This policies, it endorses education for all children, for all people, irrespective of gender, or irrespective of class, irrespective of caste, religion, region, etc. Next one is midday meal, which has been initiated long back to ensure nutrition value among the students. As we believe, if students are not getting proper nutrition, if आपके अगर पेट नहीं भरा रहेगा, if you are not filled, if your stomach is not, if your appetite is not filled, you cannot concentrate, nor do we. So midday meal was initiated for ensuring that the students get proper diet so that they can concentrate on their education, on their studies. Next one is Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan. Yes, Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan. It enhances, the policy enhance access to secondary education to improve its quality. This program mainly aims to increase the enrollment rate by providing a secondary school within a reasonable distance from every home of the student, means from every home of a children, so that they can access the schools nearby and can utilize the school facilities. Next one is the NMS scholarship. It is the National Means Cum Scholarship Scheme. Mostly it has been found that not even complete class 10, and they are found to be drop out at class 8. To stop or to reduce these dropouts, the National Means Cum Scholarship Scheme has been launched to provide scholarship to the meritorious students of economic weaker section, so that they can pursue higher education. So this was the main aim of this scheme. Next is ICT. Only a picture has been given here. It's basically ICT at the school scheme. Though this scheme is initiated in very long back, it has been initiated in 1972 and stressed on 1998. Through various schemes. In 1998, it has been emphasized with many other schemes like Vidyarthi Computer Scheme, Shiksha Computer Scheme, and School Computer Scheme. But the progress is found very slow. And I believe this the participants who are here and those who are having someone from their home in school education, might be child, might be nephew, or anyone, any relative, they have observed that how the students are facing problem nowadays, especially in COVID-19, I would say, like everyone, we have not transcend this type of thing. Basically, this has been found in the rural parts of India, and the people from economic weaker section. No, sorry. Actually, we are not the one who have probably faced this, but we have came across this type of news that these students are not students from the rural parts of India are not getting the access to computer education, online education, and that's why they are lagging behind in education in this COVID-19 in this last 1.5 years, 2 years, around 2 years. Okay. So this scheme actually, it aims to provide access to computers, you can say. So now our government is working very fast on this because they felt its importance during this COVID crisis. in ICT scheme, let me introduce like what in ICT scheme they used to do. This schemes was initiated primarily to provide smart classrooms, computer labs, computer teachers to teach the students. This was the primary aim of the scheme. Next one is Shakshar Bharat Mission. It is a scheme to provide basic literacy to the adults, you can say, especially focusing on women, but to the adults, aided. Now, recently I found a definition like it was working on the people, and they are saying that literacy is like the people who are not able to read and write above the age of 7. But basically, in India, the country, the literacy rate of the country is calculated on based on the number of people who can just make a signature. Just imagine. So a country where till date, where we are talking about sustainable development goals, till date we calculate the literacy rate based on this data, like how many people are able to sign. This is on ground. This is actually on ground. The definition might have changed, but actually this is found on ground. The next one is model residential school. And this is Ekalavya model schools. These have been formed to provide quality education, especially for the tribal areas where the parents are not that much educated. First of all, bringing out students from there and giving them education is a very tough job. Most of the NGOs are engaged in this one. And finally, it's education, a new educational policy that has been renewed with the name. Beforehand, it was National Education Policies. By this time, I guess all of us have already known about new education policy. Recently in July, it has been emphasized, quality of education has been directly emphasized. First of all, I would like to say that in this policy, the quality of education, that is the goal 4, excuse me, the goal 4 has been directly emphasized. But in this July, two main things has been introduced. One is Vidya Pravesh and the other one is Nishtha. Vidya Pravesh, it actually deals with providing education to the children, play school education. Basically, all the students do not have the luck to join play school. They don't have that economic capacity. But our government feel like pre-childhood education, pre-childhood nutrition is very important. So in this July, this has been introduced in our new education policy. See, we can see, first of all, let me say like what higher, because here we will be dealing with the higher education institutions specifically. So higher institutions have a unique role and a responsibility for the future and for driving the development towards a sustainable society. They are charged with the task of fostering sustainability in the leaders of tomorrow, our future leaders, our future decision makers, we can say, business executives, as this is the topic we can say. So it is charged with giving education to change the values, to change the attitudes of our future leaders, our future business leaders, and to ensure and also to develop solutions and methods to address a sustainable future, and also to contribute to the knowledge towards the society. So as a higher education institution with the primary role as knowledge producer, It serves as a powerful means to create a more sustainable future. Here we can see the graph where the higher education, the gross enrollment ratio in India has increased since 1950 to 2020-21, and it is approximately to 30%. Not yet reached, it's approximately to 30%. So when we are talking about creating sustainable business executives, so we need sustainable university too. So according to an author named Velakvez, he said that sustainability university is a higher education institution which promotes education through its function of teaching, research, outreach, and partnership, so that it can minimize the negative impact of its environmental, economic, societal, and health effects while using their resources Basically, a higher education institution is called a sustainable university when it helps to make the students, the stakeholders of an institution to transit towards or to adopt sustainable lifestyle. These are the 5 dimensions which have been identified. Achha, I would like to interrupt. Before, if anyone have a query, they may ask either in between by raising hands or after I complete my session. And if you, Miss, whenever you will ask, I will just come online. Miss, I will switch on my video, because as I have already told, my video is switched off because I'm not having that much data in my mobile. And unfortunately, I'm having I don't have my Wi-Fi working because there is a power cut since night. And so anyone having any query or anyone who want me to be on video to online, please just ping or please raise your hand, right? Oh, okay. So these are the dimensions through which higher education institutions, through which sustainability can be incorporated in higher education institutions. Well, very first one is curriculum. Curriculum is something which is the fastest mode of sustainable sustainable development communication. Means for communicating sustainable development, curriculum is considered the fastest mode. A variety of approaches has been proposed to incorporate sustainability in curricula, ranging from dedicated sustainable development courses to an entire curriculum redesigning. So mainly 2 types of integration are mainly focused. The very first one is horizontal integration, which refers to inclusion of sustainable development through developing and introducing sustainable development within different courses. Get it? While when separate sustainable courses are developed within the curriculum, it is called as vertical integration. By the way, sustainability can also be integrated in higher education curricula through other ways also, like certain coverage in an existing module, specific modules focusing on sustainable development, discipline specific modules like with particular sustainable development topics, and or either sustainable development as an optional or specialization subject too. But it will be more fruitful if we integrate sustainability into the core curricula across all the disciplines. Next is research. Research is a knowledge exchange process, as already written in the slide. See, it tackles and solves problems outside the academic domain through cooperation between academicians, practitioners, and experts in an integrative manner. So institutions of higher education possess a catalyst role in building a sustainable society through transmission of scholarship and scientific research. Sustainability research is actually viewed as a transdisciplinary research, as it tackles and solves the problems outside the academic domain. Right? Like through cooperation between academicians, this already written, practitioners and experts. So barriers like lack of, but what we find certain barriers like administrative support, time constraint, low information. So these are actually working as impediments in sustainable research in higher education institutions nowadays. Other challenges also include like absence of transdisciplinary, problem-based and real-world research programs, lack of accountability of higher education leaders, unaligned national policies, shortage of funds, rewards and incentives. So in my research, I have cited a case. I really don't remember. I just remember the name. Like it's probably Taiwan Sustainable Campus Program, which has been initiated, which has been launched to increase the faculty participation in SD research. If you go, you will find it out like Taiwan Sustainable Campus Program, how they have tried to enhance the participation of the faculty members, the educators there to SD research. Okay, next one is campus operations. It links the institution's campus operations like construction, renovation, maintenance, health and safety, and aesthetic environment. So you all must have heard about the 3R principle. 3R principle is the principle of reducing, reusing, and recycling. Campus operations in universities highly focus on 3R principle. It has been this principle mainly focused to reduce the ecological footprints through waste management, rainwater harvesting, organic farming, maintaining water bodies within the campus, transportation, food management system by implementing EMS, that is your environmental management system also. So see, whatever we have learned or whatever we have taught our children or our students through the courses and curriculum, through research and development, these can be actually applied in campus, on campus, through sharing campus experiences, right? So under the credo that practice what you preach, sustainable development in education can be effectively or can be credibly play an exemplary role within it by incorporating sustainable development in its operation. Yes. So this is what are campus operations. Next one is outreach. Community outreach. So outreach activities of universities in community development, collaboration, partnerships, and other social activities. So progress towards the path of sustainability requires this intensified communication, collaboration and integration of people from other or various disciplines of higher education. A mutual network is also needed between the academic research and regional actors to solve the, yes? Anyone saying something?
Participants are requested to mute their.
Please continue, ma'am.
Okay. So a mutual network is also needed, as I said, so that solve the complex societal challenges in present days. Partnership between the higher education institutes and external agencies also is also a part which allows to curtail the risks related to climate change, to improve our campus operation, to enhance institutional efficiency, and to leverage external funding that is needed to advance sustainability goals. Please excuse me. Excuse me. अभी नहीं दे सकती मेरा ऑप्शन नीचे दे देंगे Sorry about the interruption. Someone knock at the door. Okay. So where I was, anyways, I forgot like what I was saying. Anyways, in community outreach, let me give an example. Okay.
Your voice is breaking.
Where it have, is it now audible?
Yeah, it is.
Ma'am, is it audible?
Yeah, yeah. Please continue.
Okay. Okay. So what they did in this initiative, they took the responsibility to develop the basic infrastructure in the schools, these 5 schools which they have adopted, by building up toilets, by building up basic amenities which are missing in government schools, by developing smarter classrooms. These are the basic amenities they are developing in these schools. Frequently they organize so to nurture leaders, the school leaders, you can say, the school students, by through this program of Pragati. If you visit their website, you can find that Pragati, Asha is also there. Asha is again another one. It is not for the school education, but it is for the underprivileged people. They provide various basic amenities like basic goods and products through which they outreach their university or extend their university outreach programs by helping the society about through societal development, you can say, right? So again, already you have heard about that in our National Institute of Technology, Rourkela event, they have adopted 5 villages. Okay, this has been already, I feel, people have already addressed in earlier sessions. So they have adopted these 5 villages and they're doing well for these villages. They are taking care of these villages. So what we understood through outreach activities, that higher education institution can collaborate with industries, consumers, NGOs, local communities and government agencies so that it can significantly contribute to successful implementation of sustainable development in the society. Because already the business schools are doing, because we are talking about this business executives, developing business executives, and we know that this many business schools, IIMs, many private good based premier B schools, IITs and NITs are working towards this to fetch the sustainable development goal. They are particularly focusing on environmental and societal considerations. Okay. So what we understood that engaging new partners, that is the external stakeholders, can address real sustainability issues by broadening the sustainability disclosure. So what is the need of the R? What is the need of the R? It says like intensive networking and active alumni association. This is very important. Active alumni association, it provides an uninterrupted learning platform. See, getting alumni is very fruitful and very easy for an institution, making a network among the alumni. And this will give you a long learning platform, a long learning stage where simultaneously you can motivate the present students and you can improve their career opportunities, and at the same time you can develop the societal, or you can fetch towards the sustainable development goals in respect to societal and environmental goals. So nowadays, just a second. Excuse me. So nowadays, social networking sites like Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, made it easy to get connected to your needs, to various stakeholders. Go sustainability reporting. It is
Voice is breaking.
active.
Ma'am, your voice is breaking. It's not clear.
Organization. Hello.
Hello, your voice
Hello.
is breaking. Am I audible?
Work issue, because your voice is also breaking at the same time. See, I have bring closer my mobile. Is it audible now?
Yes, it is audible. You can go ahead, please.
Okay, so I was in this last dimension about reporting, sustainable reporting, which I already have said this definition written on my PPT slide. In India, actually, sustainable reporting in higher education institution is performed almost in dirt, though there is a global reporting initiative guidelines, which has been used as a most widely used global standards in corporate sector, but adoption of GRI in means global reporting initiative standard reporting standards in higher education institutions seems very low, and especially in case of India, it's very much low, right? So there are a lot of tools which can be used to measure the current state of sustainability performance of an institution, which includes like sustainability assessment questionnaire. Next is AISIT. It is auditing instrument for sustainability in higher education. Yes, auditing instrument for sustainability in higher education. Next one, what I remember is National Wildlife Federation State of the Campus Environment. This is another one. Then higher education, 21 sustainability indicators are also there. One is a campus sustainability assessment framework, which actually assess the campus operation or measure the carbon footprints in the campus. And the latest which has been using nowadays are graphical assessment of sustainability in universities. GASU, graphical assessment of sustainable graphical assessment of sustainability in universities. Graphical assessment of sustainability in universities. So this is the latest tool which has been used, but don't think that means in Indian universities it has been used so far. Means India, they hardly report on sustainability, but yes, there are a few universities they are working on sustainable reporting. And Odisha only, and in fact, NIT Rourkela stands in UI green metric. It stands and in the second position, where Sishri University stand first in Odisha. NIT Rourkela is, I guess, it's in the 11th or 12th position in all over ranking of UI green metric in India. So, so what is GASU basically? Let me focus on GASU. Okay. GASU allows reporting the overall sustainability performance by adding education dimension to the GRI sustainability disclosure, the standard, to the GRI sustainability standard. This already, the institution, honestly, Miss, basically what happens in education also, they are having 4 parameters like culture, like campus operations, curriculum enhancement, etc. Means 4 criteria they have, through which this the sustainability or the sustainable development of a university is assessed. Okay. So this is what GASU is basically. Staunch is also there. Staunch is the sustainability tool for assessing universities' curricula holistically. Basically, it is meant for curricula assessment or evaluating the curricula, to what extent curricula is addressing towards the sustainable development goals, right? Next, I already said that UI green metric. This has been followed in India. Many are followed. Means few are followed in India nowadays. Universities have started following. 3-dimensional university ranking, adaptable model for assess sustainability in higher education. So these are the assessment tools to assess sustainability reporting in higher education institution. See, reporting in itself is a very vast topic and very technical in nature. And we need a dedicated workshop to shed light on it, because reporting where we are actually not very much into it, especially in sustainability reporting, a full day program, or I say a complete week program, is needed to address this particular dimension, right? So, what we have found now, see, we have addressed this 5. These are the dimensions which have been found or which have been identified through which sustainable development can be introduced in higher education institution. But one thing is missing, what you can see, like whatever we do, whatever structural transformation we make, but if we don't have this human intention, we are not able to incorporate sustainable development in our regular activities. Yes, human intention I'm talking about. As I came to know from Professor Manvin Pratap Singh, that you all wish to see about the behavioral dimension in sustainable development. So I feel like, let me share a few of my experiences in this regard. And through this FDP, I will directly connect to the higher education educators, because my audience mostly comprise of the people who belong to higher education, might be in the form of, or might be as a faculty member, as a research scholar, as an academician, as an author. So I thought, like, why not to talk today on the human intention? Though we are following this 5 dimensions which are to be followed to incorporate sustainability in higher education institution, but this missing dimension will not allow to incorporate incorporate sustainability, whatever dimensions you innovate, whatever dimensions you introduce. And since educators, they resemble as the ideal characters in the society and minister to convert the aspiration and expectation of the nation into realities. Uh, So, so we will talk, okay. So today we will talk about the human intention, because I got the audience, the highly qualified audience here. So how could we incorporate sustainability, or how could we incorporate sustainability in human intention? Let's have a look. See, I have classified human intention in four parts, in 4 categories. See, egoistic, hedonic, altruistic, and biospheric. So here, egoistic intention, it majorly focus on personal gains, power, achievement, and maximization of individual interest. That is the intent to safeguard or increase own resources. Egoistic consumers are those who prone towards cost saving, and they are less likely to purchase green products. But at the same time, we cannot say like egoistic consumers are not sustainable, because there is an increasing tendency which has been followed, that due to the perceived health benefits, egoistic consumers purchase organic products, because health benefits is also an your egoistic need. Next one is hedonic intention. It highlights the pleasure, comfort, or gratify your personal desires. It talks about improvement in positive feelings and reducing effort. Sustainability preference reduces with the level of difficulty to perform. Let me give an example. I took my daughter to the market and purchased her a packet of chips. What happened? I did found a waste bin nearby. So what I did, because I'm a sustainable citizen, so I can't put it in the street. I can't throw it out on the street. So I put it in my bag and I came back home. Coming back home, I forgot that I have to put it in the waste bin. And when next day again I went to the market, I took my bag along with me. This time I loaded my bag with a variety of foods. Means I went to Big Bazaar, I got products, I purchased many other things. Few things which I need to be put in my bag. Few things which we have to bring along with me apart from the delivery. So I put it in my bag. At this time, I found that the chips packet is very smelling. And what I did, I came out. I again searched for a waste bin, but I forgot at that time. I came out, I searched for a waste bin, and I found that waste bin nearby. Then I put it on the street. My sustainability went away. So access to waste bins is also an important predictor, as you called about Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. So if you don't get accessibility to waste bins, you will not be able to be a Swachh responsible citizen. So again, an example I would like to quote, like many people, they prefer driving personal vehicle. Even though using public transport would be cheaper. This is, I'm talking especially about the hedonic, the person with maximum stronger hedonic concern, right? So people with hedonic values tend to use their excess income to satisfy their hedonic needs. Their buying behavior prioritize brand, design, appearance of a product rather than the price and the quality. Okay, next is altruistic intention. It refers to the key concern. It refers to welfare, and well-being of the human environment. This reflects individual selfless motives and apprehension for welfare and fair treatment of the people. People who shows concern and interest in others beyond their own social spectrum, like their dependents, relatives, friends, colleagues, and neighbors, hold stronger altruistic concern or altruistic intention, and they are inclined to act more sustainably. They derive psychological benefits, and moral satisfaction from their contribution to the common good of the human environment. Next is biospheric intention, which emphasizes on the protection of environment, non-human species, and balance in nature. People with biospheric values believe that the natural environment is much more important for survival and take necessary steps to protect it without even serving the human environment. You have seen that people, they like gardening, but they do not like socializing. There are many people like this. So their biospheric intention is high as compared to their altruistic intention. But it is not that we are not practicing sustainability. Even you, me, we all are practicing sustainability. Even if we don't go through these slides, honestly, we are practicing sustainability in our daily life. Only our presentation is only to enhance the sustainability, or to realize you, or to make you realize what sustainability you people are actually practicing. We are already practicing sustainability. We are already into it. In fact, sustainability is already in our blood. But the only thing we lack is realization, as I say. Few days back, I was talking to one of my friend. She is now presently residing in California. She said that they don't even have fan. Normally, whenever it is hot there, she have to switch on the AC. Even nowadays, we Indians have also won a fashion of using AC at home and offices, tagging it as a necessary product in our daily lives, isn't it? And the logical justification what we give? The logical justification is that the temperature is rising due to the global warming. And that's the reason why I have to switch on the AC in my home or in my offices. Isn't it funny? Don't it sounds funny? We are using energy consuming, heat radiating instrument only to cool down the temperature inside our house, whereas it is increasing the temperature outside our room, also contributing as a factor towards global warming. And what all of us normally we do means if you have the capacity to buy, if you are having the capacity to pay the electricity, we generally use AC. And in offices, definitely we use AC because there we need not to pay our bills. We do have. So most of the time we behave without being aware of its consequences. Or you can say, when we are weighing one of our intent more than the other three. Like here, we are weighing our hedonic intent more than the other three, without knowing its consequences on our health, on our daily life, or sometimes it may happen like, "Arey, jab hoga dekha jayega." So while attending on a workshop, I came to know how switching on AC in our car can affect our health. Like when we switch on the AC, we can smell a light burning of rubber. This generally also happens in our room also, but we don't smell it due to the larger size and space of our room. This smell is due to a sudden pressure on the compression, which releases CO2. And interestingly, what I came to know from the speaker there in the workshop, that it contains cancerous agent. Okay. But again, after hearing also, even I also switched on my AC sometimes. I generally avoid it, but sometimes I feel on external pressure, I have to switch on my AC too. Okay. So, but is it possible that for the sake of attaining sustainability, we forget our personal gains and comfort, pleasure, etc.? No, it cannot be possible. In fact, I'm also not doing, right? So it's in our human nature that it is also important too. Like here, you see, we are attending the FDP. That means the one who are attending have a desire to understand how we can make our world sustainable, isn't it? But do that mean that we will not look after our personal gain? Like, let me give an example. Like, if a certificate would have not been provided in this FDP program, then what would be the number that would have enrolled in this FDP? Or otherwise, people are here to obtain knowledge which they can use in their future endeavor. So both the ways we have an egoistic intent. Similarly, due to the online mode, the enrollment or the number of participants are huge because they need not to travel anywhere. So their hedonic intent have also been fulfilled, isn't it? Isn't it true? Strong intention experienced in an individual and when their altruistic and egoistic needs are met. Therefore, improvement in the basic standards of living and creation of better opportunities for all, reduction of inequalities, and promotion of inclusive, equitable society can lead to integrated, sustainable management of the ecological environment. Where a country like India, where it is merged under so much several social issues, the biospheric intent and love for the society could not be prompted, unless and until the country can curtail its societal crisis, like no poverty, which has been addressed by SDG 1, zero hunger, SDG 2, good health, SDG 3, basic education for all, SDG 4, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, decent work opportunities, reduced inequalities based on caste, creed, and regions, etc., and many more. So the social ills eradication can be prioritized to achieve the goal of environmental protection. So first of all, see, if we make it as a hierarchy, we can find that if our egoistic, you can say, intention is not fulfilled, then we do not move to our hedonic intention. If our hedonic and egoistic intention are not being fulfilled, we cannot move to our altruistic intention. And when this intention are fulfilled, then only we can show love for the biospheric or for the environment. But that doesn't mean that simultaneously we cannot address all the needs. It are interdependent too. But the propensity or the percentage to address each need, it varies with your situation. So what higher education institutions should do? Now, coming back again to a higher education institution, because I was talking about the educators so far. Your intention can be enhanced as you are a part of higher education institution. Without faculty members, without these educators, higher education institution cannot act actually. So what higher education institutions can now do, they must endeavor to widen their spectrum from traditional functions of teaching and research, extending their outreach to further community and societal services, and definitely environmental services too. Once here I would like to say one more thing. In my doctoral research, I interviewed Dr. Atish Chattopadhyay. He was the former director of IMT Ghaziabad, and presently he is working as a director in IFIM Bangalore. He said that he have introduced a program when he was in IMT Ghaziabad, named as I Am the Change. I Am the Change. Okay. What he used to do, IMT Ghaziabad used to do, they incorporated social projects. What they did, the projects actually, what we faculty members we do in our projects, what projects we give to our children. Why can't we attach or align our projects to the sustainability development goals? We can ask our students to take a project based on these goals, and what they can do, they can take up one goal as per their wish and can work on it. What actually they did in their project, I Am the Change. Yeah. Introduce program where the students were being asked to take up one of the objective from Sustainable Development Goal, and in this way they collaborated with NGOs, with other with industries, with the small farms nearby. They started working on it. Yes. Yes. Hello. Okay. So, anyone having any query? Okay, I will move forward. I have time constraint. So, see, why I said this story, because I talked to him. And I tried to find out like what are the. I conducted a qualitative research in my study where I tried to find out the drivers that can lead to sustainable behavior in the faculties of higher education and faculties in higher education. So I asked him a question, say, do financial initiatives motivate to work more sustainably? I asked, that's all the interviewees, I asked a question where I found that they said that financial, why I'm talking about financial in there. Let me again streamline. In my qualitative research, what I found when I asked this question, that what are the key drivers that can enhance sustainable behavior in higher education faculties. So I come down with this main three points, that are sound policies, culture, and public image. Financial incentives I put in this sound policies, where he said, means what actually are now what this interviewee said, I will just briefly narrate to you. They said that financial incentives can indeed alter behavior initially. Okay. And it can also assist in adopting sustainable options. But it is also important to realize that higher educations may likely undermine their vision and long-term objectives by focusing on financial motivation for changing the stakeholders or the faculty's behavior. So financial incentive or disincentive approaches may augment to adoption of sustainable choice in the short term, but it does not guarantee permanent potential preference. And it will not guarantee deliberate behavioral changes in the long run as well. Okay. He has added a line I still remember: money may stimulate immediate desire, but sustainable behavior. This was a line which has been added by him. I still remember while interviewing him. Therefore, it can be said that behavioral changes based on incentives or incentives persist as long as they are applied, and certainly subject to changes with changing lifestyle and situation. Only a behavior will perceive when it is practiced for a long period of time until it become a habit. Next, in culture, I would like, again, from the interview itself, I would like to say, see, in higher education institution, the institutional leadership is it act a significant role. So top-down approach where support from senior management could able to develop sustainable development dialogue. And more is commitment and further improve with government intervention when sustainable development activities undertaken or performed by certain universities are recognized by the higher education authorities. At the same time, one more thing also, because here again I'm talking to the academicians, mostly to the academicians. See, if we don't get adequate and effective resources, if we don't get autonomy and freedom to work for better results, may it be sustainable development goals, it will gradually increase the frustration among us. Just imagine someday you reach your office and you came to know that you are loaded with heavy tasks with certain deadlines. Might be it is very good for the society, might be it is very good for the environment, sometimes might be good for you, but hitting deadlines with a very short period of time and getting overloaded with work may make you frustrated. So the targets to achieve sustainable development goals must be gradually increased in any institution, in any organization, so that it can avoid a certain frustration among the employees. Okay. Next one is the public image. See, sustainability disclosure, public image, as I said, like until and unless universities, means from the context of higher education institution, if they don't get a disclosure where they can disclose their sustainability and get rewarded for that. Ultimately, higher education institution also working for this egoistic need. Not only we, overall, these four intents are imbibed in every concern, right? So if we are not get rewarded for this, we will not act for that. Okay. So what I feel, sustainability is reporting or sustainability disclosure can be included as a parameter in university ranking, in the NIRF ranking, university ranking, particularly we can say NIRF, right? So like a NAC, we can talk about university accreditations like NAC, AICT, NBA, and excuse me. Okay, so the professional bodies, it should be included as a university ranking parameter and should be backed by the professional bodies to assure the quality of the institution. So this will enhance the participation of higher education institution in the sustainable development process and governance. So a modern regulatory authority with an intention to facilitate rather than mere regulation cannot be the need of the hour. Is the need of the hour. So stronger governance and regulations are required in higher education, Indian higher education system, to achieve the sustainable development goals. So finally, I want to conclude by saying that see, sustainability is a habit. It is a journey towards achievement of humanity, where you are expected to fulfill their needs without hampering the needs of the nature, and which in turn will return their favor by perpetual life support system. So sustainability, it actually entails thinking and behaving in ways that are fundamentally different. Okay, because it is different from the norm for the most of the last century. Whatever we are practicing, whatever our parents, their grandparents, we actually were losing sustainability. But I said in my very previous slide, like in India, we are quite sustainable as compared to other foreign states, But day by day, gradually, we are losing our sustainable intention. So we have to be in track, right? We cannot we cannot be derailed. We cannot get means we must entails thinking and behaving sustainable way. So since it's a long process and it has been lost in a long way, in a long period of time, recovering back a state which has been lost years cannot be expected to be regained. Sudden alterations in structure or in fact in behavior also, as it will not result in deep-rooted or imperishable changes. So being in a higher education institution, what can we do briefly? As such, there are many things that already higher education institutions are practicing and can practice. I said like how educators, because you are the educators, you are the teachers, you are the faculty members who are actually the role model of the students. You students will follow you. The way you behave, the way we behave, rather we say, the way we behave, the way adults are behaving, might be in home also. This this nurture the character of our future generation. So as a higher education institution, school university collaboration is one of the options which may lead to revive the present education system deep from the bottom of the pyramid. But at the same time, I would like to say, like, since the tenure of higher education is relatively short and a lot of expectations subsist from our future citizens, this education will play a very vital role. Being a higher education, we can collaborate with schools to deliver to teach them to teach our school giving regular sessions like how sustainability will help to build a sustainable future. Behaving in sustainable way can be able to build a sustainable future. So higher education institute should now encourage sustainability teaching and learning right from the child's primary education through school university collaboration. This is what actually I want to say. So therefore, the mantra should be when higher education institutions will be able to spread awareness in this way that each gain for the common good will also be a goal for every individual member of the society. Then sustainability can be a win-win policy objective. So this I guess I'm on time. I can't just further, right? So these are the drivers, as I said, like sound policies, culture, public image. These are all which can be these are the drivers to which higher education institutions may help to address the sustainable development goals needs. Thank you all for listening to me. I hope people who are there have, I mean, pardon me, as I said, I will come back online. Let me see. Just a minute.
Dear participants, if you have any query, you may ask, please.
Sir, I was wondering about the duration of the test, sir.
Okay, that I will discuss 11:45 when we will start the session. We will discuss about that. But here,
Okay,
if you have any
because
query,
I have some meeting after 2 p.m., sir. So that's why I was wondering.
session will the examination will be afloat at 12 a.m. sharp. Sorry, 12 p.m. sharp.
Okay.
12 p.m. sharp, and it will be open for 5 hours because some people have some constraints. We do understand that. So it will be open for next 5 hours, and after that you will not be able to answer any of these things because that will be automatically logged off. So for first these things, it will be open, and take your time. There's no compulsion, no timeline, nothing is there.
So where it would be uploaded, sir? The link, the exam link, is it in the WhatsApp group?
Exam link will be available in the chat box itself in the next session, and I will share the link in the WhatsApp group also, and try to send the same thing in your mail ID, that it would be easier to access from various venues from wherever you wish to access that. And at any point of time, if somebody feels that he is not having that access, please let me know so that we will try to provide you by some mean, because actually you have spent a lot in terms of time in 5 days, so that should be well paid off, and that can be only well paid off when you will be appearing for the examination. And as somebody was talking about the attendance, because majority of you have a query related to the attendance, so as I told in the chat WhatsApp message also, please do not worry about your attendance, your examination, and already we have compiled the attendance through the MS Team, because if you are logging in by end of the session, it gives a attendance sheet. So you are not supposed to worry about. If you have attended the session, there will not be any problem in that. Now, thank you, Arpita ma'am, for sharing your views.
Yeah, Dr. Manvendra.
Yes.
So can I ask?
I guess you will have any query.
Yeah, ma'am. Just I wanted Dr. Arpita, and thank you so much for sharing your experience and very nice session. So I just, it is my query. I just wanted to know that is there any government policy or something like that for HEI, which is private? Like many of the organizations are very, mushrooming nowadays. So is there any policy? Actually, I don't know. That's why I'm asking. Is there any policy for HEI, like for private organizations? Educational, basically for educational institutions.
Policy regarding what? Actually, what?
Sustainability.
What type of,
Yeah.
Sustainability, that I understand, but basically, Miss, what type of policy you are looking for? Like in what, Miss, how you want to imbibe into your system?
Yes. This is my question. What you have right now shared with us. So not all, but any part of the things which should be implemented in higher educational institutions, which is private or affiliated. So is there any government policy regarding this?
Ma'am, policy regarding, already the new education policy have already been launched, right? There you can see that quality of education has already been addressed. So developing your curriculum at your own end. At the end, I said, like, since sustainability reporting is not yet imbibed in the NIRF ranking, so higher education institutions, they think like, why should we go for sustainability reporting? Rather, the parameters on which NIRF ranking is already working, we will better focus on that. But NIRF ranking is already working on the parameters like curriculum, outreach and all these things, if you go through the parameters of the NIRF ranking, you will find like already the goals of sustainable development has been focused in our ranking. Few, not all, right? Like our outreach activities, like faculty development programs, like publications and all, but very specifically they are not mentioning that till date. Very specifically till date, the ranking have not mentioned about including or incorporating sustainability and so far. But what is the thing is, like, since if you follow all these high-end institutions like IIMS, all the government institutions, since they are working on this, because how the government is working on sustainable development goals, very recently higher education institution will also have to measure their, have to assess their sustainable, assess their footprints on the basis of sustainability, and there they have to you can say they have to report. So in that way, it's better to start from now only, so that whenever there are any direct policy we still don't have, but if any direct policy comes, so that the private universities can encash at their rate.
Thank you, ma'am, for the lecture. But one thing, in the B school survey reports, like as normal deemed universities and private B schools that we do participate, there are exclusive marks that are given towards the sustainable actions of us. At the same time, our actions towards the neighboring community. So we score in that because they specifically ask all the B school surveys what I have seen.
Acha. This is it for the private universities too?
Yes, madam. Yes. We are, all the B school surveys, like there are different B school surveys, like Business India or India Today, or all the B school surveys. There are specific marks that are allocated towards action towards sustainability, or in some surveys it is also called actions towards the neighboring community, where we give our social projects and all. So how do we support the neighborhood?
Yes.
So there are specific marks allocated. But as you said, in the governmental agencies, I did not find. Maybe others can.
Actually, yes, that's what I want to say. Already, actually, there is no certain government policy regarding this. But as indirect provisions, like, for example, you people are attending this FDP. I said already. Okay. So in this, there are certain credit points which are being added to the academicians' credit, which will be further used to evaluate like what type of how you are addressing the sustainable development goals. Nowadays, as I already quoted, like most of the B schools have started taking social projects because they have started working on the sustainable development goals. But direct government policy related to the sustainable development goal related to higher education institution does not exist. But it is 100% sure, ma'am, ki if you follow these premier institutes, they have already started imbibing. That means some other day it may happen that you have to report on it, and if you don't start working on it right now, you will not be able to report, and there you will be lacking. Yes, any other question?
Good morning, ma'am. This is Ranjan Singh here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Madam, it was supposed to, there was an educational reform in a drastic way, starting from this financial year. There was a strict guideline from government side. Whether in that guideline, is there any mention regarding sustainability education?
And what, sir? NEP?
There was a huge revamp of our education system starting from this financial year. There was a guideline from government regarding our education system.
Sir, can you say me the name of the what the guidelines named is? Revamping?
Regarding there was a total revamping of our educational system.
That is through new education policy, you want to say?
Yes. So in that policy, whether there is anything regarding this sustainability education?
100%. Actually, new educational policy directly address the quality of education. Directly, they are addressing the quality of education. If you see what I have already said, that actually sustainable development goals not only consider the higher education, the tertiary education, it also includes the primary education, the secondary education, and as well as the early childhood education. In this particular NEP in July, just recently in July, play school facilities have also been added to it. Play school facilities have been also added to it for the students who cannot avail the facilities of play school due to economic consideration, due to other consideration. So they believe in this particular NEP, they believe that sustainability starts from very childhood, or from the you can say elementary level. They believe this. This was in July. Beforehand, in NEP in 2020 also, they have given you can say variety of in UG courses. In UG courses, they gave like people can take credit, they can leave the UG, they can join their own specialized area. So these are all the, you can say, all extended facilities that has been provided to our higher education sector, so that they can directly come for vocational training, because in our tertiary education, vocational or upliftment of vocational education is comparatively lower. So vocational training has been focused in the previous NEP 2020.
Okay, madam, don't you think that there is a huge gap between the quality of education of government organizations and private organizations? I'm talking about up to 10th standard classes, not higher education. There is a huge gap of facilities and quality of education in this sector. So, in the name of quality education,
yes,
in
yes,
private
very true.
so the price
True, sir. Here very true, very true. Here, I would like to quote, like, see, it's a very fact, like the quality, education of quality, where in our Indian education systems, I'm talking particularly about the government schools, where the basic amenities are missing. Like there are no proper electricity, there are no toilets, separate toilets for boys and girls. Then there are the classes, the teachers are less, and even if the teachers are less, they are busy in doing other works, like they are busy in preparing midday meal, they are busy in collecting, you can say, data. The school teachers are involved. So there are lacunas in our government schools. Therefore, it is very, but if you see, sir, basically in our Indian education system, we find that we do not send our children to government schools. You know why it is so? Because we feel that government schools cannot provide those quality education. That is the only reason we are not sending our children to these institutions. But when it is about higher education, when it is about a lot of money to be invested, and where the government is focusing highly on higher education sector, whenever it is a question of sending our child to tertiary education, we prefer government institution, isn't it? It is very true, sir, as you said, that government institutions, government schools specifically, they lack a major role in providing quality education, and that is the only reason, like sustainable development goal 4, nowadays various stakeholders like the civil society organization, NGOs, industry, corporate sectors, and many other private institutions, private educational institutions are also collaborating their hands and collaborating and making partnership to, or adopting this type of schools, or working directly to teach this the students of the schools. So because of the 2030 agenda, many schools, as ma'am was asking, the private schools have already started doing this. They have started taking taking societal changes regarding quality education, because already we are higher education institution, a brand education, and what is our duty? I must realize my duty towards the society, and in this way the higher education institutions need to address this goals towards school by incorporating quality education in government school education too. NGOs are working nowadays very rigorously. NGOs are working on this.
Because why I'm just raising this question, the top students are recruited in government schools or government colleges. Who are the best in
Yes.
class or who are top ranked students, they are assigned for government colleges and schools, and rest are in private schools and colleges. But the result is very much different. The private schools are focusing more on quality education, and government